Falcon and the Winter Soldier, episode 2, The Star Spangled Man. We'll get into it right after this.
Work hard, play hard, grind hard, stay hard, no we stay out, make your way out, but I just can't stop, won't stop hustling, but I just...
If you haven't saw it, this will contain spoilers. So if you haven't saw the episode yet, pause this, put it on watch later, go watch it, and come back. If you have saw it, let's get started. So this episode starts off with the smug, ever so dislikable John Walker, aka the new Captain America. And listen, I thought going into seeing him from last episode, just seeing that smug look on his face, I'm like, yo, I don't like this dude already. But then you get the episode and you see that he's a army vet, and he's actually having some difficulty accepting the mantle of Captain America. You know, he's at his old high school, reminiscing about the glory days, and I believe maybe as his wife comes and talk to him, then he has his partner comes and talk to him, and you can see he's kind of he's a little intimidated, rightfully so. Cap is a big shoes to fill, so they kind of do this to give you a little insight on who this guy is, where he came from. Next scene you cut, you see it's a marching band. He's at his old high school, and he's doing an interview with Morning America, and he's in promo mode pretty much. You know, he's giving all the right answers, cheesy ass answers. Yeah. So that was good to see. To give you some little insight on him, it made you not hate him as much. You're like, okay, maybe he has good intentions. But in the back of your mind, you're thinking, yeah, he may be something might be a little off about this guy. Um, Next we cut to Bucky and Sam, who are actually watching this. I don't know if it's simultaneously. It got to be simultaneously because obviously that's when it aired. But you see Bucky watching it, and Bucky looks pissed. He's like, "What's going on? Like, why is this?" Sam's watching it, and he walks out into the corridor, and he sees a poster of him. See, Bucky is actually confronting Sam where Sam is. I don't know how the fuck he knew where he was. Maybe Sam texted him, but they start their rivalry out, and it's massively entertaining throughout the whole episode. Actually, it was great. It seemed like everything that was in the trailers was like predominantly in this episode, which is good. That means we have stuff to look forward to in upcoming episodes that we haven't saw before. So that's always a plus, and it's so many different twists and turns because you had no idea that the new Captain America would be such a pivotal role in this series. I didn't even know he was in there. To be honest with you, I thought I saw something on the trailers, and I was like, I did a reaction. I'm like, is that the new Cap? But to see how this is and how they're gonna be pitted against each other, and then the introduction of another character, the reintroduction of another character who I'll get into in a minute. But I want to focus on Sam and Buck for a while, and that aliens, wizards, and androids scene come up, and that's hilarious. This how uh it's how Bucky is not in the know of anything. Bucky's just being his own damn world. And he brings up the Hobbit book, and the androids, alien, wizards, that came up again with another soldier or somebody else said that shit too. I'm like, wow. Anyway, uh they have to track down the flag masters. Sam has a lead on them. He tells Bucky he has to go. He's trying to get rid of Bucky. Bucky's like, no, I'm going with you. So they wind up trying to find these guys. They find them in the warehouse, follow them, and they get their asses handed to them when they start to pursue. They find out that these guys got, well, they already know they got superpowers, but when they try to combat them, they're outnumbered because it's like 8-2. So the new Cap comes out of nowhere and helps him, and he's fucking wielding his shield around. I'm like, yo, he gotta have some kind of superpower. There's no way he can throw that shield like that. That's what I'm thinking. But I saw Sam do it in the trailers too. So it's just all about, I guess, the gravity and the balance and all that stuff. But he comes out of nowhere on a helicopter and just fucking starts kicking ass. He's handling them pretty good, but they're all, like I said, they're outnumbered, and these guys got super strength. You also see an introduction of his partner, which we now know is Battlestar. And if you don't know who he is, in the comic books, he takes on the mantle of Bucky, as John Walker takes on the mantle of Captain America, and they become like the new Cap and Bucky. Um, You guys could do your research on that. I don't want to really want to get too much into that because we got to keep this short and sweet. But it's good seeing that, like it's good seeing obviously seeing another hero of color come out and he's getting his ass whipped though. He didn't really do too much. He was kind of collateral damage. Cap had to just save him. And then they all pretty much get kicked off the damn truck. So that was interesting to see. That was an interesting fight scene. The chemistry was not there, and like they got their asses handed to them. So the Flag Masters get away, and they're led by a little girl named Carly. She is looking to learn about. No, the flag masters are led by this little girl Carly, who they thought was a hostage, but she really was just chilling in the back. Like, listen, I'm the boss of this shit. I got my drivers, and Bucky when Bucky pursued her, he got his ass whooped. But what they are, the Robin Hood style freedom fighters determined to stop global elites who took back power after the blip, and they're getting cover from civilians as they move around, which was interesting to see how many people were supporting them. But hey, that's how it be, man. That's how a lot of fucking terrorists and so forth get around. It's people that believe in that particular movement and they decide to help them. Bucky and Sam decide to go visit some guy named Isaiah. That I guess Bucky knew this guy. I guess this old man Isaiah was sent to pursue Bucky, and he wound up winning. But then he got locked up for it, and Bucky never came forward to help or try to save this guy. He did 30 years in jail, and he's angry. He's pissed, rightfully so. Sam's pissed off about it. He's like, "Yo, why didn't you say nothing about this shit?" He was like, "Yo, I figured it wasn't none of my business, or like, I've been brainwashed and I've been a piece of shit for years, cause that's what it been." So that didn't go well, but I don't know why he went there. I guess he went there to show Sam that there's other people with super soldier serum. I think Sam's gonna eventually wind up getting some super soldier serum for some reason. I don't know. I just feel like that. I feel like he needs some. He's kind of weak. Uh, but as they're leaving out, they get Sam gets racially profiled, and I think they show that layer to show that it don't matter who you are as a superhero and you, as a black man, that you're always gonna have to go through some bullshit. It was like relevant what's going on with the times. So I think they threw that in there, and then they recognized who he was, and it was like, oh, we're sorry. And then they actually wind up arresting Buck. But previously they were like, is this man bothering you? I'm like, dude, you see how Sam dressed like a straight square. He don't even dress like a hood dude or somebody that's from the street. He got fucking Brooks Brother clothes on or some shit. I don't know. But he gets locked up because he missed his probation. Sam goes to get him at the police station. The new cat wind up bailing him out because he wants to work with them. They wind up having a therapy session, and this was hilarious, man. This was like the funniest scene throughout the show. Uh, despite their tension, they do make an excellent team, man. And they just gotta find a groove. But this was hilarious when they were just uh Bucky reveals his aggravation with Sam, springs from the Sam's rejection of the shield. And and despite Steve choosing him for it. And he felt like, yo, if he messed up or made a mistake choosing you, then he made a mistake with me. And I felt that, man. I felt that. I was like, look at Bucky showing them acting chops. I really felt that. And fucking Sam's like, yo, you not thinking about how I felt about it. Like, it's a big role to fill. You gotta think about that. It's a big role to fill, man. Those are big shoes you gotta live up to, man. That holding that shield, that put a tiger on your back automatically. And then, like I said, Sam don't have super strength. So a lot of his power is just his wings and wit. And he got a little fighting skills, but you gotta think of how that feels. So they walk out the police station, and when they when they kept getting close to each other, he was like, "Is this close enough?" I'm like, "Yo," I'm like, "This is good stuff, man." I swear they need to make like a fucking buddy comedy movie where they just on a road trip doing some shit. I feel like this what this is. Like they just on a road trip, and they got some action in here, but it's more of a comedy, man. It's great stuff. They walk out the station and they see the smug Captain America again, and he's trying to work with them, and they're telling them like, listen, the way you do stuff, you got to get approval and all this shit. We're free agents, so it's not gonna work out. The new caps is like, oh well, just don't stand in my way, and they just have a stare off and they look at each other, and then Bucky brings up like, yo, I know somebody that can help us. I know who it is, and comes to find out that it's Zemo he wants. Apparently he has some information that could potentially help them, and then it just cuts to Zemo, and you see him in his cell, and he's looking fucking emo as ever, and it cuts off from there. And this was a good episode. This was a great episode. Obviously it's gonna be the Marvel critics. I'm in the Marvel Facebook group. They're gonna have their reservations about it, but like they do with anything, they always complaining about some shit. Uh, but they shot it out. Let me give a couple of observations that I seen. Former Shield agent Sharon Carter, she got a shout out. Uh, Apparently she was branded an enemy of the state as she aided Caps, Sam, and Bucky in Civil War. I didn't know that, and I believe she pops up in here, so I think that's like a little nod that she gonna be here. Obviously, Walker's interview takes place on the football field at Custer's Grove High School in Georgia. That's his hometown in the comics. He's interviewed by ABC's Good Morning America. Disney has owned ABC since 1996. I was wondering how the fuck was Good Morning America in here. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? But it makes sense. That's cross promotion. I like it. Uh, Bucky read The Hobbit when it came out in 1937, making him some kind of pop culture hero. Wonder what he thought of the movie trilogy. Bucky asks Walker if he ever jumped on a grenade, alluding to pre-super soldier serum Steve doing so in World War II, a moment that proved his heroism. Um, I would love to see a flashback of the Winter Soldier and Isaiah's battle, because apparently he said he whooped Winter Soldier's ass, and you know how badass Winter Soldier was in the Winter Soldier Captain America movie. He was super OP back then. I don't, he got man weak since he became all regular and shit. Uh, Carly's comics counterpart is Carly, the first person to take on the Flag Smash identity. So also they mentioned the White Wolf in the episode as well, which was entertaining. I think Sam called him the White Panther. He's like, it's the White Wolf. So I thought that was pretty cool. A little callback to his time in Wakanda. That's pretty much it, man. Post your comments below. Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. What did you think about the episode? What do you think about my shirt, not my cap? If you want to get one, I'll leave a link in the description below. But as always, peace, love, and prosperity. I am the Black Abstract One.